What's going on, guys? It's Evie. I'm here with the man himself, SV Dolphin, the brains behind a lot of the math that we have going on. What's up, dude?
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Everything's going good. We are finally here.
Let's break it down. Let's get into like what's going on with the game, Dolphin. Let's see. We need a breakdown of what the stats are, how this game works, why it's in Excel, how that process goes down, any behind the scenes or on camera things we need to know about the game. Let us know.
Okay, so what we're gonna be doing here is we're gonna set a order based on a dice roll to see who attacks first. We're gonna be seeing a dice roll to set the turns for each faction, and each faction is gonna take turns attacking both of their rival factions. We see here that each faction has been given 5,000 energy points. That's pretty much your health. Independent put together 24 double and triple backgrounds, giving them really high stats, a really strong army. Government put together 13, and corporate came in at second place with 18 double and triple backgrounds. So these are actually the meta for this, since the meta is balanced. The bigger double and triple backgrounds you put together, pretty much the stronger your army will get. However, the numbers do look really tight, so we expect a close call fight and a fight to the death. So yeah, so the natural abilities definitely give you advantage in that regard. However, other factions, if they can put a double or triple card together that to match your intel, your defense, your attack, so it's a very interesting. There's many combinations you can come up with for this war. It seems that it's going to be a close race, so we're very excited. And yeah, without further ado, let's get to it.
Right. I want to touch on one thing beforehand, is that like, I'm personally a big fan of corporate. I like the design of the mask and the exotics for corporate. I think it's a really cool look. But if I'm thinking about which team or which faction I'm looking out for to watch, to keep an eye on for this entire war, I'm thinking government has a pretty good chance at taking it, because their attack is just so high, and attack has a really high value in this meta. And of course, defense and intel has their play, and intel especially can come in clutch sometimes, depending on the circumstances. So now we're going to roll the die to see who gets to go first. So we're going to set the turn order. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, and as you guys can see here, we have what looks to be 17 for independent, 15 for government, and 11 for corporate, which means that independent goes first, government goes second, and then corporate goes third. And this is for the entirety of the war. We have 10 battles for the war. So, all right, guys, it's the moment we've been waiting for. Let's get into it. We're going to press attack, all right? And so we press attack, and this is going to show us all of our turns. I'll show you what it looks like here on the screen. Boom, attack. Let's check out the turn history. Whoa, so I mean, so Dolphin, are you able to see what's going on here? Do I need to zoom in for you?
No, so yeah, we can see that independent together rolled and a 22 attack. The gods were not in their favor. With an intellect of 83%, however, they were able to add it up to 40 attack. Mm-hmm. However, that is too low for the defense of both government and corporate. So the both hacking attacks have failed on the enemy factions. So neither government nor corporate have taken any hits or any negative points for their energy.
All right, so let's give them a quick breakdown of, like, people are seeing this thing, they're like, okay, 22 attack. How did they get the 22 attack? What happened there?
Oh yes, so on the 22, that is a dice roll as well. So your attack is that you will be mounting to your opponents will be given by a dice roll that goes from 0 all the way up to your attack potential, which in this case for independent was 1448.
So that's uniquely low. Like, they rolled a 22 out of 1448, which is crazy low. So that's pretty crazy. All right, so anyway, so going from that,
which can happen.
Yeah. So now we also have an intel. So intel works how? Like, how do you get 83 intel out of whatever their total intel was at the time?
From their cards, if you add their base numbers, you will get 830. This number is then divided by 10 and rounded out. So they to an effective of 83%, and this 83% is added then to the attack power that they have rolled. So 22 plus 83% of those 22 will equal 40.
So we're gonna attack here. We attacked again, and what happened? Let's see. Oh, shit, I gotta press the attack button actually. All right, press attack. Okay, something happened. Oh shit, so it looks like government
It looks
attacked.
like independent. Yes, it looks like independent and corporate have both taken hits from the government faction, who rolled an attack of 1316. So remember, the higher your maximum attack potential is, the higher your dice roll can be. So in this case, it allowed them to roll a die of 1316 plus a 19% attack boost given by their intel for an effective attack of 1566 for a maximum attack of 1566 towards corporate and independent. Corporate had a really high defense of 717. However, that is still way too low.
Obviously, if your attack is rolling over the baseline, or at least the cap actually of the defense of either faction, you're going to hit for your full attack that you rolled for. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is that when you roll for an attack power and it's over the cap of the faction's defense, the opposing faction's defense, you're going to hit for your maximum power that you rolled for, not your maximum power overall. So there's a difference between that.
So in this sheet as well, what you can see is any yellow is obviously a miss, any red is a hit or defeat. When your faction has been defeated, you will also light up red. However, your remaining energy will be at 0 or negative, depending on how effective the attack towards your faction was.
Right. And so we're taking our time explaining this to you so you can understand the basis of the game. Once we get through this first battle, it's going to be like we're going at it. So it's going to be a back and forth type of thing. So, but here we go. Going to the next attack. I'm initiating attack here. And it looks like we took some damage here. Let's open up the turn history to see what happened.
Corporate is the one attacking now. You can see they rolled a 371 with a 19% boost for a effective attack of 441 on independent and government. Now, both of them were able to come up with some good defense. However, with only 284 and 316, it is too low to withstand the attack from corporate. So they will both be taking a hit.
Yeah, and this is where defense comes into play, dude. It's really important that you have some decent defense if you can. Of course, corporate's going to have the natural ability to have higher defense. And with the natural ability to have higher intel and higher attack, that counteracts that. But if you can somehow manage, if you can coordinate properly, somehow manage, and this should hopefully help you guys out with the next war, to have a high attack and a higher defense, or a higher intel and a higher defense, then you have a good chance of outdoing a corporate, because corporate doesn't really have that high of an attack. So at least in this instance, every war is different. So that's key. All right, let's move on to the next attack. Initiating attack. And what do we have here? It looks like something went down. Ooh, another hit. Yeah.
So now it's Independent's turn again. They rolled a 779 with an 83% attack boost. And this is where it's really convenient, really beneficial for Independent to roll high attacks, because their percentage just doubles that pretty much instantly. So now they have a 1426 effective attack on the defense of government and corporate, which in turn they have their defense is way too low. No chance they can stop an attack that big.
That's what she said.
They both take 1426 damage to their energy points.
All right, let's go on to the next attack, guys. All right, we're rolling the next attack. And let's see, we're going to turn history. Ooh, something going on here. So I would love to see a mismatch hit. That would be interesting to explain to you guys. But obviously it looks like government attacked, and they had the attack power of 162. That's what they rolled. See, let me click over here. Lower than the other two defenses. They miss like very badly. And so now we've seen twice that two people have missed due to just rolling a low attack. And now you see how the probability factor comes into play.
That's exactly, Evie. So as we saw, government with its natural highest attack, it will always have the natural highest attack. However, even with that, you may roll a die that's only 162, and that is way below, even with your intel, unless they were able to mount with those double and triple backgrounds, they were able to mount a double or a triple on that 162. They will come below the defense of both corporate and independent. Even with that super high attack, they're still missing attacks here just based on a die roll. So luck does play into it. However, in the end game, when energies are very low, those numbers get very, very important, because missing a turn might mean you lose the war.
And let's take some time here to interject with a little bit of an advertisement. This shit's crazy, I know, but so we have our own like little lo-fi music going. Are you guys blasting our lo-fi music, our synthwave music in the background of this war? It's the perfect music, especially our VS8Q synth wave music is perfect for the background music for this war. It's a long one, so sit tight, grab a drink, grab some food, enjoy the music along with it. Was that shit weak or what?
That's kind of wild, dude. That's kind of an advertisement.
It's like a joke. It's not like a legit advertisement. It's like funny or whatever.
Dude, we should sponsor like random fucking, like just random shit. That would be so funny, dude. Like when you cut the video into like an advertisement, just do like an old people, like an old person like cane or something. Like it sponsors some kind of walking cane roll.
Holy shit.
That'd be so funny.
I'm initializing attack, and looks like we have, what do we have going on here? We have 1144 for the attack power of corporate. All right, keeping in mind that corporate is a very defense-heavy faction, but their attack is definitely formidable. So you have a 19%, which is similar to government's percent of intel added to their attack, and so you have 1361 at the end of the day when it comes to max attack. And luckily, that is a very high number, so they, they're going to hit both independent and government with this slabam slap bat motherfucker, and then yeah, they're gonna hit independent and government with the two backhanded fists. Pow, pow, pow.
Corporate is now taking the lead from independent, who with the double and triple cards was the stronger faction. However, corporate is now in the lead again. So corporate is first place, government second, and independent is last.
We have Z-8067 who's representing Indy. We have Crimson who's representing Corp, and we have Smithy who's representing government as the legends. Cool. We wrote the next attack, and it looks like, were there misses on this? Yeah, there's misses both ways. Independent just missed, dude. They just
no. So this is independent is just having a bad time right now. It looks like the war is not going well for them. They have been missed on both government and corporate, with rolling a die of 276, even with an 83%. So your intel will only come into play after landing a successful attack, and that will boost your attack to your max attack, and that will be the energy point subtracted from your opponent's faction. However, if you roll a base attack that is below the defense, intel will not be added to your attack. Okay, so we have independent rolling at 276, which is below both defenses of government and corporate. So here we have an example of your intel not being added to your rolled attack. It was not effective, so your intel boost is not added. So we have a miss for government and corporate, which remains safe. And government independent is just not having a good time in the war right now, guys. They are getting decimated by the dice rolls.
Yeah, corporate's ahead right now, so let's go ahead and do another attack and see where we go from here. All right, we're initializing an attack, and oh shit, something just happened, dude. Look at this dramatic change. Let's go to the turn history to see what happens.
Oh my god, government attacking in this turn. Rolled a 1340.
Holy smokes, just to give perspective. What's their max? Their max is like what, 1765? So
yes,
that's
so
crazy.
They have pretty much rolled the effect, like the base attack of independent. They rolled a 1339 with the 20% boost to 1593. Corporate takes a big hit from 2008 energy points, leaves them at 415. Independent, almost wiped out entirely, is left with 39 energy points. Even with those double and triple backgrounds, again, if we look back at the stats, Independent was able to put together the strongest army with 24 double and triple background boosters, and still government with the lowest, only 13 double and triple boosters, is now just based on these dice rolls decimating the field.
Let's go, government. I always believed. Let's go. Let's see what happens next, dude. Okay, so this next one.
My God.
Oh my God, he on X Games mode.
Yeah, I mean, the next hit that happens, like, I mean, independent guys, I'm sorry, but you're pretty much out. Like, unless this person misses and you get your next turn, corporate has to miss, and then you get your next turn, and then maybe you guys can take out the next guy. But it's not looking too good for you. Let's see what happens. Rolling attack. Here we go. Moment of truth. Oof. Yikes. Independent is taken out in 8 turns. So now we have government and corporate left. Let's see what that looks like just so we can see the turn history here. Yeah, so you can see that independent has been taken out. Corporate rolled for an 812 plus the 19% because since they landed, they get that percentage of the intel. And they rolled a 966 attack. And against, you know, independent's depleted defenses, which is just at 39, they easily get taken out. Which takes them down to negative 927, which isn't very important in this case because they're out, obviously. And then government gets taken down to 806 with that 966 attack. So that was a pretty good attack coming from a faction that has very low attack in comparison to the others. All right, let's go ahead and do this next attack to see what happens here. I'm a little nervous. I wonder who's going to win this.
Yes, now we see
Ooh, a miss.
and government fighting for first place. We have a miss.
A miss.
Taken by government, misses on corporate. Now it's just going to obviously be a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
It's going to just take turns attacking each other.
Let's see what happens. Attack initialized. Ooh. And so corporate has landed, or luckily drawn, a 558 base attack plus the 19% because they do hit. And that brings, what is it, government down to the 142. So yeah, it's not looking pretty for government here, but we'll see how that turns out eventually.
Yeah, so right now, as it stands, both of them have enough, so little health points that a single attack from either corporate or government can take the other faction out. So we have really high stakes at this point. Every turn is going to be vital to getting that item of war.
One attack here, and let's see what happens. Initializing attack. And oof, another miss, it looks like. Yeah.
Oh no, government has missed. That high defense from corporate is keeping it above the water.
Dude.
It's keeping the government at bay.
Corporate,
They're able
bro,
to
corporate.
maintain their 415 health points.
Let's fucking
Government
go,
is now
corporate.
in deep water. Government is getting too close. Oh my god.
Oh my god! Wow! Yo, those shields, bro. Those shields are fucking crazy right now, dude. Let's do another attack and see what happens. I'm so excited to see what happens. Let's see. Oh, corporate's the winner. Holy fuck, dude.
Oh
think about
my
this.
God,
Whoa, think about this for a minute. Government has the way higher attack. And they missed because they just rolled a really crappy roll. And corporate's defense is so high that they just upheld very well. Let's look at the turn history. I mean, if you look at the previous turn, government rolled a 308 and got the 19 percentile multiplier, or not multiplier, but, you know, added to it for 367 max attack. And it was still lower than corporate's defense stats, which sit at what, 415? No, sorry, 717, which is super high. And so they failed. And then corporate, they barely had to roll anything, because look at what government's working with defense wise. Not that high. It's like literally like almost half of what corporate's is. So man, some crazy stuff here. But yeah, I mean, corporate won that first battle.
Congratulations to corporate for taking the battlefield here in our first battle. It's gonna be a best out of 10. So we're gonna speed through the next couple of battles, and we'll speed through the next couple of generations, and we'll be back whenever we have a definitive war state.
Initialize. Reset game. Okay. Close. All right, and then what I do? Attack.
And then simulate full game. Ooh, independent won, dude.
And I'll go to turn history. You can
Ooh.
pause it here if they
won
want.
like 5 turns or some shit like that. What the hell?
Here, okay, so we ran the war, so now we have this. So yes, so it seems that in the second battle, independent has taken the win in 6th turn, decimating government and corporate. We go over to the turn history, we'll be able to see a little bit more of what happened in the battlefield. Looks like we had a couple of misses. A first miss from independent to corporate, and this is how you can see the mismatch. And the blue, anything blue means you hit a faction but not the other. Independent rolling another mismatch on the second turn. However, in the end, they came out victorious and were able to take out both government and corporate with that higher boost. If you can see the rolls, they rolled almost a 1400 attack, 83% boost, giving them a 2577, pretty much decimating both armies in one single attack. That is the importance of that bonus, that intel bonus that came in clutch and won them the second battle.
Yeah, dude, and if you pay attention to this, you guys, this is the first time seeing the mismatch hit and miss in an actual live game as far as faction wars goes. And if you look, you'll see that corporate is the one who's pulling out these clutch defenses. Defense can be so important in these instances. You saw corporate take the first game, independent took this one because their intel is really powerful in some instances, but you know, it's always the luck of the draw. So that was fun to see these mismatches. Going to status, initializing, we're going to reset game, okay, close. All right, we're going to attack here and simulate for game. Oof, independent won again in 6 turns this time.
Independent won again in 6 turns again with that high intel probably coming into play. Let's go see what happened in the battlefield.
All right, looks like government had a mismatch going, except this time, oh, again, it was corporate. So if you see a mismatch, it's likely that corporate's pulling out the clutch defense, which came in handy the first game, but these next 2 games weren't so lucky for corporate. And whoa, look at this independent. Okay, let's look at this independent attack, okay? So independent rolled a 987 on their last attack for base, which obviously lands on both, even the high 17 or 717 corporate defense. But you know, with that multiplier, it brings them up to 1806. Look at that multiplier, dude. 1806 off of a 987 base attack power. Initializing, reset. Okay, you're keeping tally, right?
Yes, independent has won twice.
Okay. All right, and roll another attack here. Simulate full game. Holy independent,
oh my
dude.
God, bro.
They have such a
again.
dude. Remind them of their multiplier background. So this is important. These guys actually coordinated. I was there firsthand. I watched them use a spreadsheet and all that, bro. Quick maths. They coordinated the multiplier backgrounds. And how many did they have, Dolphin?
Independent came in with 24 double and triple, and a lot of those were actually triple. So they coordinated and came up with the highest number of double and triple digit cards, which is giving them a lot of advantage right now in the battlefields. So from the beginning we were thinking independent was gonna put up a hell of a fight. They unfortunately got taken out the first battle by corporate's defense. However, they have been coming back in these last battles, and now they are going 3-1 to 0.
Right, with government at 0, which is pretty tragic because government has the highest attack. You would think they would get something off real quick. It's just that the heart of the cards is not in their hand. A couple of mismatch misses here, hits and misses, which is pretty interesting. But of course, we know that it's going to be corporate who gets those because their defense is so high. We can see how valuable defense is, but unfortunately that low attack is just not working out for them these last 3 games in a row. So yeah, man, it's going to be tough.
All right, going to initialize, reset game, okay, close, and here we go.
Attack. Oh.
Oh, bro. Yo, so we see here again, independent taking another dub. However, this one took them 13 turns, so this must have been a hell of a fight for that battlefield. I wonder who took what. Let's go see.
All right, we got a couple mismatches here, and surprisingly, wait, what is it? Corporate here, and actually, sorry. Let me check. Okay, it's corporate both times. Okay, that's expected. That's going to be the case almost every single time, as long as corporate has the highest defense. Sorry, independent took out government pretty early on, considering the conclusion of the battle took 15 turns, but government got taken out by independent on the 11th turn.
So independent has taken out government with an 1121 die roll and 83%, giving them a 2000 max attack on government, which estimated their 796 energy points, taking them out of the race. Corporate being able to stay afloat with only 203 after an intense battle throughout the entire game. They go head to head in the end. Corporate rolling 388 that was able to hit independent. Independent coming back with a 475 that misses Corporate's defense of 700, so there was no booster added to Independent's attack. Corporate is able to stay afloat with 203 energy points, allows him to attack one more time with 382, and a boosted attack for 455, which brings Independent down to 1632. However, there's still plenty of energy points, and Independent takes the win after an 839 attack that takes down Corporate in the last go in the 15th turn.
Yeah, it seems like those multipliers are really paying dividends at this point.
Let's go ahead and initialize the next attack. Or next game, reset game, okay, close. That puts them 4-1. By the way, Independent versus Corporate, 0 for government.
To attack here, simulate full game, and of course, as expected, Independent wins in 8 turns this time, not quite the 13 that it was before. The note here is that you can see that it wasn't Independent who took out Corporate, it was Government who took out Corporate actually, which was really interesting to see someone else, you know, take a hit off another corporation after Independent has such a long reigning war where they just dominated everyone going, you know, from that second battle onward. So all right, we attack here, we're gonna do the full simulation, and of course Independent won in 10 turns this time. What the dude? Okay.
God, dude, just on X Games mode, bro.
So yeah,
and again being taken really early on, turn 8 by Independent.
Crazy. Yeah, Independent won, dude. It's over, dude. Independent won.
Or Independent won. 14 turns. Oh, this was a hell of a battle between Corporate and Independent. Look at Government being taken out at turn 6, but Corporate hanging on till turn 14.
Oh, and then Corporate won this one, dude. So Government really stood no chance.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh my god.
They're half of their army with single backgrounds, dude. They're not gonna do shit. So Independent has won this war, guys.
Yeah,
Independent,
they've won.
With Corporate was only able to take him on that first round. Government, unfortunately, had the lowest number of double and triple cards in this first war. That double and triple, I mean, it was the Legends of War pack. You wanted to get those double and triple. That's why they were dropping at a higher rate than the base pack. And they were able to come in clutch here in the meta with double and triple. Independent coming with 24. Again, Corporate only 18. And Government with the lowest of 13. And the battlefield shows it. Government unfortunately did not come in with the best cards, giving them a big disadvantage. Corporate was able to put up a fight into Independent. However, Independent just came with a better army, better prepared, and they just take the war.
Yeah, that's a big oof. The writing was kind of on the wall. Being in there moderating these 3 different faction headquarters, you can see that Independent had the best organization. They had the best use of cards. There's a lot of 2 stars, 3 stars left on the aftermarket for both Corporate and Government factions, but none of them were picked up for the war, and now Independent has clutched out, you know, that item of war, which is going to make them even stronger, even more formidable. So it'd be curious to see how that plays into the wars going forward.
I wanted to give a big shout out to every leader of the faction. They put in the work on Discord. They try to get their armies all organized. It was a difficult battle. They put up a hell of a fight, and they should get a shout out. Devin, do you know who the fuck these people are? Do you want to shout them out?
Yeah, so we have all right, so we do want to give a big shout out to the Government, Corporation, and also Independent faction leaders for taking their time to like help organize these things. And we know some of you may have been at an advantage or disadvantage depending on your circumstances, but either way, this was fun. We had a good time casting this. And we're gonna shout out to MD Revelations, Modern Day Revelations, who is the Government faction leader. He did a good job, or they did a good job at, you know, establishing themselves and stepping up to the plate. Things were tough with Government. They had a hard time getting the perfect organization down from my observation, but they made it work either way, and they were the first ones actually to submit all of their cards. You know, interpret that as you will when it comes to preparation, but they got it done pretty quickly. So shout out to Modern Day Revelations as the faction leader for Government. And then we have Crypto, which is the corporation's Government leader. They also did a great job at this, coming in from Cape Town, South Africa. bringing in some of those African vibes to the faction wars here. And then we also have on Twitter known as Gray Fox Incorporated, but I think called Silver Fox on Discord. He was the independent factions leader, and so congrats to him or them. They did a great job at pulling this clutch win out, and you know, the item of war is yours, guys. So congratulations, brothers and sisters. The item of war is a very powerful item that can be used in the war, but it also can be sold or can be held depending on how much you value the card itself. The way the card will work is we have it disclosed on the card itself. The way it's designed, you can read the text and see how it works, but as far as its effectiveness in the war, that will be disclosed at a later date.
Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations to the faction leaders that put in the grind on Discord to organize their armies. Unfortunately, some people just have, you know,
hey man, you beating that dead horse, man. We already said all that.
It was dead as hell.
Peace.
Of course, deader than government, dude. Government's bullshit.
The government's fucked, bro.
Government out of here, bro. Take him to the shade.
Yo,
give him some water.
Hey, government, this is a roast session now. Take your 1-star cards, take them back to the shed. You need some 2 stars, bro. Some 2 stars and 3 stars.
Bro,
what are you doing?
milk,
Why'd you submit 1 stars like that? Like, dang.
I try not to laugh when I would see those single card submissions, you know, but you know, I just try to keep it chill.